Hey there, welcome to Pilates with Julie. Today we're going to use one of my favorite props, this small stability ball. This is like a 7-inch Pilates stability ball. So you can use whatever size one you have. I even have ones that are a little bit bigger. So whichever one you have in your possession is great, or you could even use a couple of couch cushions if you don't have a ball. We are going to do a core challenge workout today. So I love using this ball for a little bit of support and feedback. But one of the things I want to talk about first is understanding the importance of breath when you are doing core exercises. So we want to be able to breathe well using our diaphragm so that we can connect into our core area. So all the deep muscles in our core, but also your whole nervous system and fascial system that actually work to support your body. So this isn't just about getting those six-pack abs. This is about creating connection and stability in your core to help support your back, support your neck and shoulders. So having a strong core starts with your breath. So let's get started in a seated position. So you can hopefully come down onto the floor and even just put your ball down on the floor in front of you. Now, if this is super uncomfortable, you could try sitting with your legs crossed. We're gonna be rounding forward. Or you could just frankly sit in a chair and not worry about the ball right now. So if I was sitting in a chair and you could just put your hands on your thighs and just go through some of the forward flexion that we're going to work on. So find the position that feels most comfortable for you. And just take your ball, if you're going to use this, and just lay your hands on top of the ball. I want you to be able to sit right on top of your sits bones, nice and tall. And we're going to start off just doing some nice deep breaths into your low ribs. So let's just start with that, taking a focused breath into the low rib cage. And then as you exhale, just let all that air out with a little bit of force. Start to feel that connection in your core, breathing in. And then exhale. And another time, breath in. And then out. So now as we move into a little forward flexion, I want you to think about your spine growing tall as you inhale. So breathing in, feel that length come as your core connects. As you exhale, I want you to gently press your hands into the ball, draw your chin gently towards your chest, and round forward. Take a breath in, keep that long lifted length of your spine. And as you exhale, gently press into the ball and lift yourself all the way up. I'm going to show you how this looks with your legs crossed. So just a fingertip touch on the ball, breathing in. As you exhale, nodding your head forward, connecting with your core, pressing into the ball and flexing forward. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, slowly restack your spine. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in and exhale. Taking a breath in. And as you exhale, lengthening your spine all the way up. And one last one. Breathing in. Exhale, rounding forward. Taking a breath into your back body. And then exhale to come back up. All right, let's come down onto the floor. And we're going to just take the ball and put it between your thighs. So now we want to just get our pelvis moving a little bit, understanding neutral pelvis and imprint. And as you go into your imprint, I want you to connect in your core and gently squeeze the ball. So you can just place your hands on your pelvis here, find a neutral position, take a breath in. As you exhale, gently squeeze the ball, connect into that core, allow the top of your pelvis to get heavy. Make sure you're not squeezing your bum. This is coming from that core area. And then inhale, allow the pelvis to move back to neutral. So exhale, connecting into that core to allow the pelvis to get heavy on the top. Inhale to neutral. Gently squeezing the ball as you exhale into your imprint. Inhale, come back to neutral. And one more time, exhale into your imprint. And inhale, come back to neutral. So let's keep those, our pelvis in neutral. Hands are gonna come behind your head. Elbows are slightly lifted. And we're just gonna go into a little ab practice to warm up our abdominal muscles. So let's breathe in, give your head a little nod, and exhale, curl up. Inhale, lower back down. So watch as you do this that your pelvis stays neutral. So we don't want to tuck our pelvis. We want to work our core in a neutral position. Inhale, lengthen back down. So just notice how you're feeling in this movement. Some of you may find this a little challenging to curl up. Maybe you feel like you're pulling in through your neck. Keep your head heavy in your hands. Exhale, curl up. And inhale back down. Let's do 3 more. These are just some little prep moves to get us warmed up. 2 more times, curling up. Inhale back down. Keep a gentle squeeze on the ball. And again. And last one. And lowering back down. So now we're going to take that ball and put it in behind our back. So just roll over, come on up, and we're going to put the ball in behind us. Sometimes the trickiest part is getting the ball positioned. So now if you don't have a ball, like I mentioned earlier, you could stack a couple cushions in behind you. You could grab a foam roller. If it's a really hard one, maybe you might want to wrap a towel or a yoga mat over top of it so it's a little softer to be on. Or you could even use a ball that's a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do is place the ball between your shoulder blades, a little lower down. So the higher the ball, the more the support, but you don't want to go into your neck, obviously. The lower the ball, the more wobbly you're going to feel. So I like to place mine about the middle of kind of the bottom of my shoulder blades. So in this position, we're going to just do the same movement we were just doing with our body down. So find your neutral placement of your pelvis. So let's come into a little tuck or imprint just so we can find what we want to avoid. And then we're going to rock the pelvis toward the tailbone. So you're feeling like you're kind of the lower part of your sacrum bone where your tailbone is anchored down. So you've got that nice neutral position. Now, one of the things that's really lovely about this is we can now get a beautiful extension. So as you inhale, keep your head supported by your hands. And I want you just to find the shape of the ball with your upper body. Don't come back too far on these first ones. As you exhale, nod your head and curl up. Find that little crunch position. Inhale back, opening up. Maybe go a little further. Exhale, nod your head, curling up. Again, keeping that pelvis neutral. Inhale, find that lovely extension. Maybe go a little further. Exhale, make sure you nod your head before you come up. Let's try that a few more times. Inhale back. And exhale, curling up. Inhale back. Exhale, find that connection in your core to lift you up. And one more time, as you breathe in, let the chest fill with air. And exhale, curling up. So now we're just going to come back to neutral. So we're not going to go into that extension. And from here, we're just going to pulse up 8 times, curling up. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2. And one more. Opening up through the chest, extending back. And let's curl up just to neutral and lift one leg into tabletop. So this leg here needs to stay nice and still. Your pelvis is still neutral, and we're going to curl up to that leg. So this is just changing our stability a little bit. If you find this too challenging, put your foot down and just repeat what we did with our legs down. Let's do 3 more. 2. Last one. Place that leg down, extend back. We always get this really nice chest opening extension before we go on to the next one. So other leg, so your left leg is tabletop, your pelvis is still neutral. If you need to, come into a little tuck and then a tilt to neutral or to neutral to find that position. Okay, so curling up again 8 times. 7, 6, feel that compression of your core to support you. 4 more. 3, exhaling as you come up. 2, and 1. Lower that foot down. Really open up through the chest as you extend back. Nod your head, curl up. Right leg is back to tabletop. But now we're going to take your right hand or your arm and place it onto the floor. So now we're going to go into a little crisscross move, targeting your oblique muscles. So keep that right arm down to the floor and right leg nice and stable. And you're going to curl up and back to neutral. So we're curling up and across. So think shoulder towards knee. Exhaling. Shh. Keeping the right leg still. Shh. You got it. Let's do 5 more. Keep the pelvis neutral. Last 3. 2. And last 1. Place the right foot down, hands back behind your head, extend back. Curling up, let's try the same thing on the other side. So left leg into tabletop, forearm down, right hand behind your head, elbow in your periphery. Keep that pelvis neutral and curl up and lengthen back. Think right shoulder to left knee. Shh, keep the pelvis neutral. We can feel that warmth appearing in the core. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last 1. Lowering that left foot down, hands behind your head, extending back. We've got one more version of this. And if you find this a little too challenging, then you can go back to the one we just did, or even one of the repetitions we did a little earlier. So maybe keep your feet down. So let's go back to right leg and tabletop. And this time we're going to add a little bit of movement. So I want you to pull your knee in and then lengthen your leg out. Pulling across, lengthening out. The challenge here is to not tuck the pelvis a whole lot. Curling in, lengthening out. Let's do 3 more. And 2. And last 1. And see how this is a really nice blast of those deep core muscles and a bit of a challenge too, but still being really mindful of your movement, mindful of your breath. So let's switching sides. And so we've got the left leg up, left arm down, and we're going to curl forward, pull the knee in and lengthen back. Again, thinking about shoulder coming towards your knee even more than your elbow. So from your perspective, this might look like my elbow, but I'm really trying to think about my shoulder kind of curling up and across. All right, last 2. And last 1. And let's place that foot down and let's go back into our beautiful, juicy extension move. So inhaling, opening up. and exhale, rounding forward. Inhaling back and exhaling forward. And last one, I know these abs are definitely feeling like they're working. And we're going to curl up. And one of the easier ways to get out of this is just to push into your feet, bring the ball a little lower, and then sit on up. So let's just finish this with a nice little stretch. So you can use your ball if you want, or you can just put your hand down by your side. I'm just going to put my fingertips on the ball. Try and find a position where you can sit with your legs in maybe this scissor sit, or maybe you want to come onto a chair if that's super uncomfortable, have your legs hanging over and just coming into a side bend, or maybe sit with your legs crossed. So find a position that feels best for you. And we're just going to lift one arm up and come into a nice little side bend. Lengthen up and down, and let's see if we can come into the opposite direction, getting a stretch in through those waist muscles that we were just using. Inhale, your arm comes up and over to the side. Try and keep your sits bones equally connected. Lengthen up and down and over to the other side. Always think long spine as we go into these movements. Coming into that side bend and counter stretching. And then we're just going to flip our legs around if you're sitting like me, and we'll go to the other side. And so if you don't want to have your hand on a ball, you can just put your hand down onto the floor and just come into that side bend, just back, bending that back elbow. Or you can come back to using the ball. Lengthening up. Feel that lovely stretch. And one more time. Finishing up with that side bend. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that core challenge. Be sure to like the video below. Comment if you enjoyed this workout, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, so you get updates when new videos are released. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.